Vinícius said no to Madrid. Has PSG already made their move? Barcelona is targeting a top defender. And Arsenal is shocking fans. Who are they stealing from Liverpool? All that right now, 350 likes, and a new episode drops tomorrow. So, Vinícius, one of Real Madrid's most important players, a guy who seemed untouchable, but now things are getting weird. His contract runs until 2027, but he has already rejected a new offer from the club. Why? Apparently, the salary isn't high enough, and considering that not high enough by Real Madrid's standards means tens of millions per year, you have to wonder, how much does he actually want? And now, PSG enters the scene. A club that is constantly searching for a new superstar to fill the void left by Mbappé. And who better than Vini? They've already made informal contact with his entourage. Nothing official yet, but you know what they say. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and if that's not enough, let's add Saudi Arabia to the equation. Last summer, they reportedly offered €1 billion for him. €1 billion. That's not a transfer. That's an attempt to buy an entire football kingdom. Real Madrid refused back then, but the real question is, how long can they hold the line? Florentino Perez reacted quickly and offered Vinícius a new contract with a pay raise. But, surprise, he turned it down. Real Madrid's response? Silence. No second offer, no visible movement. It's starting to look like a chess match where neither side wants to make the first move. But here's the key detail. Vinícius loves Real Madrid. He doesn't want to leave, but he's also not willing to play for free. And on top of that, the atmosphere in the dressing room isn't exactly great right now. So, his future depends on two key factors. Can Real Madrid offer him a contract that meets his expectations? How will his relationship with Mbappé develop if Kylian stays? If these two pieces don't fit together, expect a blockbuster transfer. PSG is already extending a hand, and Saudi clubs are waiting with a suitcase full of cash. So, Real Madrid is stalling, PSG is waiting, and Saudi Arabia is lurking. What do you think? Will Vinícius stay in Madrid, or is he heading elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Will he remain the face of La Liga, become the new star of PSG, or take the Saudi oil money? Oh, and by the way, over 60% of viewers watch from their TVs, and unfortunately, you can't comment from there. But you can hit the like button. If you want more videos like this, support this one with a like. It really helps. Looks like Xavi Simons is packing his bags again. RB Leipzig just signed him, and now they're already preparing to sell. And this isn't just some routine sale. We're talking about a potential €100 million plus transfer. Manchester City is already keeping an eye on him, and it seems Pep Guardiola sees him as the next Kevin De Bruyne. Xavi Simons is, without exaggeration, one of the most intriguing young talents in Europe. His career path looks like a zigzag on a map. PSG to PSV to RB Leipzig to back to PSG to RB Leipzig again. And now, if the reports are to be believed, he's on his way to England. City's interest isn't just a rumour. Guardiola knows that De Bruyne won't be around forever, and Bernardo Silva could also leave. But is Simons really ready to step into their shoes? The 21-year-old midfielder is in phenomenal form. 9 goals in 18 matches for Leipzig this season. Those are the kind of numbers that attract top clubs. But let's be honest, the Bundesliga is one thing, and the Premier League is a whole different beast. We've seen even the biggest talents struggle in England. Just look at Jadon Sancho. In Dortmund, he was a dribbling king. At Man United, well, you know the rest. There's also a key detail. RB Leipzig recently paid around €50 million for Simons, and with bonuses, the price could rise to €80 million. So if they're already considering selling him, they clearly want to make the deal of the century. Bought for €50 million, and 6 months later, they could flip him for over €100 million. Financial geniuses, no doubt. But here's the real question. Why doesn't Simons stay anywhere longer than a season or two? At PSG, he was benched. At PSV, he exploded. At Leipzig, he's thriving. And yet, they're already open to letting him go. Is this all part of a planned resale strategy, or does the player himself not want to settle down? According to German journalist Christian Falk, there might be a special clause or a gentleman's agreement in Simons' contract that allows him to leave if a strong offer comes in. If that's the case, Leipzig may have signed him with a clear plan. Give him 6 months to shine, then flip him for crazy money. So, who's ready to pay up? Manchester City seems like a logical choice. They love technical, quick, and versatile midfielders, and Guardiola knows how to develop them. But will they actually pay 100 million euros plus? That's the real question. After their recent spending, City won't splash that kind of money unless they're absolutely convinced Simons can perform at the highest level in a team that competes for every trophy. So, will we see Xavi Simons in the Premier League? Or is another unexpected twist waiting for him? Maybe he stays at Leipzig and becomes the next Bundesliga superstar. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Simons the next De Bruyne, or will he end up like Sancho? Bayern Munich is on the verge of losing Joshua Kimmich, and a lineup of European giants is already forming. Manchester City, Liverpool, and Real Madrid. 30 years old? That's nothing for a machine like Kimmich. If anyone thinks he's past his prime, maybe they should rewatch a couple of Bayern games. A workhorse, a leader, a tactical genius, he plays in midfield, at full back, or anywhere the team needs him. And now, he's entering the final months of his contract. Bayern is trying to keep him, but Kimmich isn't rushing to sign a new deal. Why? Either he's waiting for a better offer from Bayern, or he's genuinely preparing for a new challenge. And options? He's got plenty. Real Madrid has been watching Kimmich for a while. Initially, their main target was Alphonso Davies, but that deal isn't happening. The Canadian looks set to stay at Bayern. But Kimmich? Now that's a golden opportunity. A world-class midfielder available for free? No way Florentino Perez passes on that. But here's the catch. Madrid sees him as a central midfielder, while they are already eyeing Trent Alexander-Arnold for the right flank. So, does that mean Los Blancos would prefer the Englishman over the German? Big question. Liverpool is pushing harder. The club has already opened talks for Kimmich, and a player this versatile would be a perfect fit. Liverpool loves players who can cover multiple positions, and Kimmich fits the bill perfectly. And let's be real, a world-class signing on a free transfer. Absolute steal. Manchester City, the usual suspect. We all know Guardiola loves reuniting with his former players, and Kimmich is his dream player. Fast, smart, technical, tactically flexible, a Pep Guardiola footballer in every sense. Back in January, City tried to sign him, but Bayern blocked the deal. Instead, they signed Nico Gonzalez from Porto. But does that mean City no longer needs Kimmich? Unlikely. Guardiola will almost certainly be back for him in the summer. This is one of those rare cases where Pep can get his ideal player for free, and that's just the European giants. Saudi Arabia is already making eyes at Kimmich, but realistically, he's not the type to leave for money. At least, not yet. Italy and France? They're lurking in the background, but the real battle is shaping up in England and Spain. Who wins this race is anyone's guess. Now, the big question for you. Where do you think Kimmich will go? Liverpool, City, Real Madrid? Or will he stay at Bayern? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which move makes the most sense? You know what makes a good transfer rumor even better? When it sounds both logical and completely insane at the same time. Here's one for you. Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk could end up at Barcelona. Yep, the Blaugrana are reportedly looking to lure the Dutchman in, and on the best possible terms for themselves, for free. How about that? This bombshell comes from El Nacional, which claims that Barcelona dreams of signing Van Dijk and sees him as the man to strengthen Hansi Flick's defense. Sounds logical? Absolutely. But there's a catch. Laporta is hoping to sign him when his contract expires. In other words, the club expects Virgil to just get up, say goodbye Liverpool, and head to Spain without a single euro in compensation. And that raises a few questions. Van Dijk himself is only adding fuel to the fire. When asked about his future recently, he responded with something along the lines of, "Whoever says they know something knows nothing." Thanks, Captain Obvious. He could have just said, "I want to stay at Liverpool and sign a new contract," and killed the rumours instantly. But no, he's keeping everyone guessing. Maybe he's unsure himself, maybe he's playing hardball to get a better deal, or maybe he's actually planning something. From Barca's perspective, this transfer makes sense. Flick needs more experience in defense, and Van Dijk brings exactly that: stability, leadership, and a winning mentality. But here's the tricky part. If Van Dijk joins, the club might be tempted to sell Ronald Araujo. The Uruguayan is one of Barcelona's most valuable assets, and there are already offers on the table. Premier League clubs are reportedly willing to pay 60 million euros plus, and if a deal happens, that would free up a spot in the squad. But here's the concern. Van Dijk is already 33, And while he's still a machine, no one knows how long he can perform at the highest level. At Liverpool, he's a defensive rock, but moving to Spain would mean adjusting to a new system, a different playing style, and a completely different tactical setup. And let's be real, Liverpool isn't just going to let their captain walk away so easily. But money talks. Is Van Dijk simply using Barcelona's interest as leverage to negotiate a better contract with Liverpool? That seems very possible. On the other hand, Barca is evaluating their options. It all depends on three factors: Van Dijk's willingness to leave, Araujo's potential departure, and the club's financial situation. Deco is closely watching how things unfold, and if even one of these pieces doesn't fall into place, this transfer won't happen. Oh, and one more thing. Over 80% of viewers watch videos without subscribing. Let's change that. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest transfer rumors and biggest stories in football. And now, the real question. Do you think Van Dijk could actually move to Barcelona? Or is this just another transfer fantasy? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Liverpool is unexpectedly ready to part ways with their 28-year-old Portuguese forward. At first glance, why would they sell such a versatile attacker who can play in any position up front? The answer is simple: injuries. Over 4.5 years at the club, Jota has missed around 95 games. That's nearly 2 full seasons. He's a top-class player, but if he spends more time in the stands than on the pitch, what's the point? And now for the most interesting part, Arsenal is interested in signing Jota. The Gunners were looking for a striker back in January, but missed out on Benjamin Šeško and Ollie Watkins. Now the Portuguese forward is on their radar. And here comes the big question: is he really worth it? On one hand, Jota brings creativity, speed, and the ability to score in crucial moments. On the other, he's under contract until 2027. The price won't be cheap, and there are no guarantees he won't get injured again in a month. According to insiders, Liverpool isn't too keen on strengthening a direct rival, but if the offer is right, they won't say no. By the way, it's not just Arsenal keeping tabs on Jota. Foreign clubs are also monitoring the situation. Could PSG or maybe Juventus make a move? But let's do a little thought experiment. Imagine Arsenal actually signs Jota. How would he fit into Mikel Arteta's system? The Gunners already have Saka, Martinelli and Trossard. The attack seems set, but finishing chances has been a major issue for Arsenal. And that's exactly where Jota could make a difference. His positioning and ability to score with minimal fuss are things the Gunners desperately lack. But would this be a smart signing? Liverpool has good reason to hesitate about Jota's future. Injuries, inconsistency. Signing a player like him is like buying a second-hand iPhone. It seems great at first, but then it suddenly starts glitching. More questions than answers. Will Arsenal take the risk, or will Liverpool change their mind and keep Jota? What do you think? Should Arsenal go for a player with such an injury history, or should they look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments, don't forget to like and subscribe. And up next, even more hot transfer rumours, so stay tuned.